Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda Kita. I'm the Executive Director of the Home Builders Foundation, and I'd like to welcome all of you to our 4th annual Foundation Builders Breakfast. Home Builders Foundation is the charity of choice of the Home Builders Association of Metro Portland and a chapter of HomeAid, and we give the building community the opportunity to give back and impact people's lives. We're excited to have you join us this morning in a new virtual format for 2020 and look forward to sharing with you about the work of the Home Builders Foundation and celebrating our annual award winners. I'd like to invite you to take a quick look at why people support Home Builders Foundation by watching the short video that was highlighted at our 2020 Building Hope Gala. Kyle, can you check the volume on that?
As well as time that is put in, goes significantly further than any of the other charities that we get to work with.
So when we're working together with the Home Builders Foundation, we're actually making our community stronger, and we're helping people that are the most vulnerable, and that's something that's sorely needed in our community.
I believe the Home Builders Foundation and its mission and what it's able to accomplish is a vehicle which all of us can utilize to really have a larger impact than we might be able to individually.
Join us in supporting the Home Builders Foundation because there is an absolute need, and the need is increasing. And what the Home Builders Foundation does in providing homes for the homeless is remarkable.
Join us in supporting Home Builders Foundation.
Join us.
Join us.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience with the little technical difficulties. I'm Darcy Fredericks, the board president for the Home Builders Foundation. Our awards today for the Company of the Year and the Volunteer of the Year award, they are big deals. These people, along with other companies, our builder captains, Greg Olson, Jim Standring, and the ones from years past, they make the biggest impact on everything that we do. They often work at deeply discounted, if not fully discounted rates for both labor and materials. And we all know that homelessness is an issue in our communities. We see it on the freeways, we see it in our neighborhoods, we see it downtown. And we're looking at, as the Home Builders Foundation, to make the biggest impact we can. And we do that with our partnership with Home Builders Association members and other contractors in the industry. We would like to introduce you to Dave DeLapp. DeLapp LLP has been the sponsor for the Home Builders Foundation Builders Breakfast for the last few years, and we are so grateful for that sponsorship. It's sponsorships like this that we can have events where we raise not only money through donations, but just awareness of what the Home Builders Foundation does in the industry. And as a company that's gotten the Company of the Year award, I can tell you it means the most to our team members, more than any other awards we've ever gotten, to receive this kind of recognition, because we all want to make a difference right now, and that's why you're here. So we're so grateful you're here. But I'd like to introduce Dave DeLapp. He is 3rd generation partner with Dave DeLapp LLP, and again, has been our sponsor for the last few years. Thanks so much, Dave, and welcome.
Thank you, Darcy. Appreciate the opportunity to share this morning. When I was asked to share a few thoughts, I was excited for the opportunity. And basically, it's been a true privilege. Our 88-year-old accounting and financial planning firm to partner with clients and an industry looking to positively impact their community. When I think about the HBF, I see a Venn diagram, 3 overlapping circles. Circle 1 is strength. Circle 2 is passion. Circle 3 is community need. And living in the middle, in the intersection of all 3 circles, is the HBF. The HBF has created an incredible platform for purpose-driven construction companies to efficiently give back through their strengths and resources, to honor the worth of every individual in our community. The HBF creates the opportunity for your generosity to become someone else's miracle. Viewed from a different perspective, the HBF can be a powerful platform for legacy building. As an active participant in the home building industry, you play a very visible and tangible role in shaping the look and feel of our communities. But beyond the sticks and bricks contributions to our community, your support of HBF has the potential to create even more lasting impact through the lives of others. That impact can truly be generational. It's that opportunity to impact others that has been driving my passion professionally at DeLapp for nearly 40 years. As a firm, we can't swing a hammer worth a hoop, but we can financial and tax plan with the best of them. When I think about DeLapp's Venn diagram, our strength is creating confidence and clarity to decisions you wrestle with daily. There is nothing that we love more than partnering with a passionate client to deliver more predictable and profitable outcomes. When we talk about legacies, the fact pattern today as we enter Q4 of 2020 is unlike any other planning opportunity of my career. It's simply incredible. Whether you wanted to leverage your giving strategies or simply pay less tax, we'd always welcome the conversation. Finally, I wanted to say thank you. It's so encouraging to watch an industry come together to collaboratively build a legacy. There's more need than ever for generous men and women like you. So thank you for being here today, and thank you to HBF for the work that you're doing.
Thank you, Dave. We appreciate your guys' sponsorship of this event, and thanks for being here and joining us early this morning.
You're welcome.
So every year, dozens of companies and individuals connected to the residential industry raise their hands to help out with Home Builders Foundation projects and events. Each year, we have several that go above and beyond in their service to the organization. Home Builders Foundation recognizes one company and one individual each year whose incredible contributions deserve extra recognition. We'd like to highlight a couple of those today. This year, as Company of the Year, we would like to recognize Medallion Industries for their continued support of Home Builders Foundation. Medallion has donated to many HBF projects over the years, including the recently completed Anissa's Place project, but also going all the way back to our very first homemade shelter project, Haven House, in 2004 actually. Medallion has been sponsors and guests of the Building Hope Gala and HBF Trap Shoot going back for years and years. Tim Mahaffey has been involved with the Home Builders Foundation for years as well, including serving as an original member of the HBF Advisory Board, sitting on the Homemade Advisory Team, and assisting with HBF's workforce development efforts. Tim and his wife, Kathy, have been longtime donors to the HBF Gala, and this year they made a very generous donation at our first virtual Building Hope Gala and auction. I'd like to invite Tim Mahaffey, longtime HBA member and foundation supporter, to accept Company of the Year award for Medallion. Tim?
Well, thank you, Brenda. First, let me show the very nice award that the HBF has presented. We are very proud to have earned it and to have joined other companies that have done so well for the HBF over the years. Thanks are in order to several different groups, starting with this Medallion team. The reason we've been able to support the HBF since really it was got underway is the hard work and effort that our team members give every day that allows our company to be generous with donations. Second, We couldn't do it without the support of our long and loyal customers. Builders are what we're all about. Builders are who we serve, and being in a position where we can participate in HBF efforts is something that would not happen if we did not have long and loyal customers purchasing products from our company. Third, I want to highlight our supply chain. Medallion has been generous over the years, but we have not done it entirely on our own. We certainly encourage our vendors to do what they can. We try to match or do what they can't, but over the years, we've had many material contributions or discounted product, which has enabled us in turn to provide products for no cost or little cost. And last, I want to salute the builder captains. I'm really pleased to see that they're getting profiled this year, but none of these projects, going all the way back to Haven House, would have occurred if there weren't a professional builder willing to marshal the resources of the building community, lead the effort, contribute the time, and lead by example. And as a particular shout out, I want to thank you, Jim Chapman, who was the first or one of the first builder captains going all the way back to Haven House. He gathered a group of us in the HBA auditorium and said, this is an opportunity to make a difference. It was a brand new concept at the time. We bought in right away, and we bought in ever since. So thanks to all, and thank you, the Home Builders Foundation, for recognizing our company. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks to the Medallion team for believing in our mission. I was excited, Tim, when I dropped off your award. I dropped off also your vendor award for Musa's Place, and I also saw that you had one of your other ones in your office there, so that was great. The next award is the Volunteer of the Year, and this goes to someone who's actually not been with us that long, but has already made a huge impact. He's been an active member of the Trap Shoot Committee. He helped review HBF scholarship applications this last year. He's a Building Hope Gala donor, and his company, Pacific Crest, has donated product to several HBF projects and has offered his trucks and his drivers for several HBF events, and recently joined the HBF Board of Directors. I'd like to invite Brian Boggs at Pacific Crest Building Products to accept the Volunteer of the Year Award.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Brenda. I'm unmuted, right? Yeah. I'd like to say I'd very humbly like to accept this award and thank the Home Builders Foundation Executive Board for this honor. I say humbly because every year, or even in a year like 2020, the number of great people and organizations willing and able to be part of the good work that we do at the Home Builders Foundation, it just amazes me. There are many great folks to be considered, so thank you very much for the recognition. I also say humbly, because this award could very easily just say enabler instead of volunteer. For a number of years now, Ridgecrest has been involved in helping the HBF in any way we can, with full support of our owner, Nate Bond. Anyone given the chance from my team of almost 200 employees from across the Northwest has really jumped at the opportunity to be part of the critical work that the HBF does, whether they're designing a kitchen, delivering needed items to an event, or helping with a fundraiser as a volunteer. They're happy and willing to be part of such a great cause. That said, we can always use more help. I joined the HBF board because for many years I was looking for a way to give back to the community. I found one that worked in my life. I'll continue to serve on the board as long as they'll have me, because besides the community impact, the personal and professional benefits, both emotionally and culturally, are priceless. Creating a culture of volunteerism, I believe, is a critical part of building a strong team and company. As business leaders, we should be looking really, for any way we can to get our teams involved in the community. And as members of the building community, there's no easier way or better way to give back than what the Home Builders Foundation does. The people in this virtual room, as we can all attest to, are probably the busiest people in the Portland metro area. There's no greater work than providing shelter. It's essential to all of us. And our time and resources are always being taxed. Being as busy as we are, finding time to give back and volunteering can be hard. The Home Builders Foundation gives a group as busy as us and as time constrained as us an opportunity to better both ourselves and the world we live in. So, writing a check is always helpful, but there's so many other ways to give back. In-kind donations and easy ways to contribute, allowing your teammates to be involved and donating their time, and just the use of all of our resources are easily manageable and can make a great impact in the organization. So thank you for the award, but mostly I'd like to challenge everyone in this room really to find a way to be part of this community and this organization. And importantly, more importantly, I think, to find a way to allow your employees and your teammates to do so as well. And if there's any way that I can help in doing this, please let me know. So thank you for this honor. Again, it means a lot to me and the company, and we look forward to helping out in as many projects as we can.
Thanks, Brian. We appreciate your support, and we will definitely reach out to you for more projects. So without the support of individuals like Brian and companies like Medallion, we would not have the impact that we do in the community. HBF believes that everyone deserves a safe, dignified place to sleep at night, a place to heal, and an opportunity to move forward with their lives. Today, we'd like to highlight a couple of our HBF builder captains and tell you more about a couple of recently completed projects. Our builder captains serve a vital role by providing the services of a general contractor, working with trade partners to discount and donate labor and materials, and donating their time and expertise to a shelter project in the community. Here to lead us in a Q&A session and introduce our guests is Chris McDowell, HBF Project Manager.
Good morning, everybody. That's a ridiculous photo of myself, but yeah, so just like Brenda said, the role of builder captain is integral to what we do at the Home Builders Foundation. They save us a huge amount of resources so that our shelter providers can focus on what they do best. So today we're going to introduce two of our HBF projects through the lens of our builder captains, and then we'll follow it up with a Q&A session with Greg Olson and Jim Standring. The first project that we are going to introduce is our Just Compassion Resource Center in Tigard. Our builder captain on this project was Greg Olson, president and owner of Olson & Jones Construction. The Just Compassion Resource Center is a day facility that provides hot meals, showers, laundry facilities, and navigational resources to homeless adults in Tigard. It also serves as an inclement weather shelter. With the help of Greg and his team, the foundation was able to raise over $200,000 in in-kind donations from over 50 vendors. In addition, the foundation provided $57,000 of cash contributions to make this project happen. The foundation officially approved this project in March of 2018. At that time, Just Compassion was a fledgling organization kind of hobbling together work parties to work on their newly acquired property that they bought. The day center was initially able to open in June of 2018, but the construction continued on, and that's when we contacted Greg. So Greg joined the project later on in 2018. Once he took over the project, we became dramatically more organized. And at that time, we pivoted to the major projects in the basement, commercial plumbing upgrades and seismic upgrades, to name a few. Because of the tight budget, we relied heavily on participation of volunteer teams. We had firefighters bust up concrete in the basement as a training exercise. We had Mountainwood Homes, another builder, joined us for a team building exercise and a landscape taming project. And we had a group like Catalyst Northwest build our wheelchair ramp and renovate our upstairs bathroom. After 2 years of wrangling with permit review, budget constraints, and the normal resource center operating hours, we were able to complete the project just in time for the cold weather season. Greg and his team executed the project with great care and attention to detail, and Greg personally devoted countless hours to make the project a huge success. And if you know Greg, he's a meticulous planner. And we want to just say thank you to Greg for all his effort. Moving on to the next project is our Anissa's Place shelter in Clackamas County. Our builder for this project was Jim Standring with Westland Industries. Anissa's Place is a shelter, a 7-bedroom home for teenage girls escaping sex trafficking, run by a small nonprofit called A Village for One. Anissa's Place is a shelter named after a girl named Anissa Swearingen, who was a sex-trafficked teenager brutally murdered in 2012. Thanks to Jim and his many connections in the building industry, the foundation was able to raise over $400,000 of in-kind donations with over 60 donors. And the foundation itself kicked in $71,000 of cash contributions to the project to make it happen. With this project, we officially broke ground in September of 2019. Located on a 4-acre parcel in rural Clackamas County, the rural site was preferred so that girls can live in a confidential and safe location. As Jim can attest to, building a home on a rural site presents some major challenges. The building had a large commercial septic system and a well, as required by the county. Utilities were especially challenging because of how far the building was set back from the road, and the boulders and rocks that we encountered along the way. After 4 months of permit review, we began digging the foundation in late January of 2020. The weather wasn't great, but Jim was able to get some great partners to make sure we stayed on schedule. We had some huge partnerships with volunteer groups again. PWB and Bliss Roofing built our roof. Pyramid set up our HVAC system. Oregon Building Officials Association built our gigantic fence. But mainly a lot of great companies like Olson, Standard TV, Parker Concrete, Pacific Crest, Medallion, to name a few, donated their expertise to the project, and Jim was able to galvanize them into contributing in a way that we could never imagine. The quality of this home is stunning. Each bedroom is personalized for each girl. The thoughtful spaces, lighting, and colors provide comfort to girls staying at the house. The cleanliness of the spaces allows staff to do what they do unimpeded. For a small organization like A Village for One, this is their first home, and this building that Jim created sets the tone for how they will operate for years to come. So this tree mural, painted by a local artist slash volunteer, will be populated by handprints of each girl that goes through the program. Something that is often overlooked in our shelter projects is the landscape. The enclosed backyard that was built at this house features a small lawn framed by the surrounding forest, and it again provides a safe place for the girls to enjoy the outdoors. Jim brought in his close friend Rafael Cornelio with RC Landscape to build several lovely walls, terrace gardens, the lawn, and colorful plantings to cap off the project. On time and under budget, Anissa's Place officially opened on September 1st of this year. Thank you, Jim, for your service. So now we will pivot to our Builder Captain Q&A, and both Jim and Greg will be featured also in our upcoming HBNs. We have an article on Greg this month, and then next month we'll have a cover feature with Jim Standring. So look for that. So Jim, let's start off with you, and we'll have you both answer this question. When did you start your company? What is your business's primary focus, and how did you develop a passion for home building? Can you unmute Jim?
Well, I started my company in November of 1976, a long time ago, and I started out as a real estate land developer, which is my primary focus. And I developed a passion for home building and land development because I enjoyed the freedom of owning your own business and being rewarded for your hard work financially.
Great. So Greg, what about you? When did you start your company? What's its primary focus, and how did you develop a passion for home building?
So the company actually started in 1982. However, I began my career in carpentry, being self-employed in about 1977. Today, Olson & Jones is known for higher end residential remodeling and home construction. The passion for building, probably started when I was a carpenter. I learned that I loved to build nice things and things that I could stand back at the end of the day and was very proud of what I was able to accomplish. And that just continued to roll on with regards to putting whole projects together and then and then building a company that is here to help people with their housing.
So next question, Jim, you have been involved in the foundation from the beginning, even earlier on when HBA had charity projects in the 1980s. Can you explain how the HBA and HBF projects have evolved over the years?
Well, it was Rudy Cadleb's idea to start a foundation locally. And I think we shared a half a person at the HBA. Now we've got 3 great full-time staff folks. We've been able to raise a great deal of money to do a lot of good work. A very professional organization. It's changed. Primarily, it started with homemade. So we always wanted to show the general population and the elected officials that we wore a white hat, which was Rudy's term. And through homemade, we had a great story to tell, and we've had a number of projects since then. I can't even remember 10, 12 different homemade projects, but that's the big difference in my view.
Great. So Greg, next question. The Just Compassion Resource Center was your first project with the HBF. Can you describe your experience, provide some details in the process as you kind of went through the project?
Sure. It was our first project acting as a builder captain. It wasn't our first project, however, contributing to an HBF project. We had helped Nathan Young on his project when he built for the Portland Rescue Mission's shelter home in Northeast Portland for their live-in program over there. So, and then with regards to doing nonprofit projects, we had done these before, so it wasn't completely unusual for us to be involved. However, being a builder captain in an HBF project comes with a lot of help, and it's nice to have the history of HBF, you know, that Jim spoke of, to be able to talk to people. And so when we're doing asks, to have credibility of the HBF behind us. The process, at least in my experience with the Just Compassion, they're relatively new or kind of fledgling, and they're getting their legs underneath them and stuff. And they didn't know a lot about the process of things, and which is much like a lot of our clients for the first time that we work for them. In particular, there was a funny little story how when I was getting oriented to the project, they were still completing their first floor project. And they were orienting me and looking at the drawings and everything. And they were describing to me how they had this volunteer team scheduled to come and do I think it was the drywall and the finished flooring in the bathroom. And I said, oh, okay, well, the bathroom is, and they said, well, it's this bathroom right here. Well, the bathroom, the team was going to show up in about 6 weeks, and the bathroom hadn't been demoed. I asked if they had any permits. They hadn't got any permits, and I was just like, oh my gosh, we got to get this thing rolling for you guys. So we just jumped in. It was immediately jump into the fire and get permits and get everything done. We made it. The other team was able to get in there and do their role, which was greatly appreciated. You know, one of the things that also is kind of about working is that when you're a builder captain, oftentimes you have to help procure materials, resources, those kinds of things. And you're asking for donations, discounts, contributions, those kinds of things. And for me, what was very helpful was really understanding the vision of the nonprofit, really understanding what it is, their vision is, and what their role and what they want to accomplish in the community. And once I understood that and understood it to a greater degree, the ask becomes very helpful, because I'm asking now because of their vision. And that becomes more passionate. So, you know, I became more passionate about what Just Compassion is doing as I got to learn more about them.
Great, thanks, Greg. Jim, so you brought the Anesis Place Shelter Project actually to our attention, to the HBF's attention. How did you first meet with the people at A Village for One? What compelled you to take on the project? And what was your experience working with this shelter provider as opposed to when you worked with normal private clients?
Well, I have an old family friend, Zan Agnew Peets, and her family's foundation, the Agnew Foundation, had been involved with A Village for One for a number of years, and they decided that they wanted to either rehab an existing home or build a new one. And so she told me a little bit about what they did with, as it involved young teens and sex trafficking, and how huge an issue it was. It was at a family Sunday barbecue, which we had often, and I had 4 granddaughters running around at the time about those ages. And I'm sitting here going, how do you not get involved in this? And I had known Zan for, I don't know, 30, 35 years. So she introduced me to Cassie, and Cassie runs A Village for One. And she was a real delight to work for. She was very focused, very goal-directed. She knew what she needed, and didn't really get too terribly involved in any of the construction other than as it was relevant to serving their purpose. You know, there's a lot of things that went into that you don't realize. These young kids are prone to hurt themselves, so we had to deal with things like mirrors and towel bars, and it just went on and on and on to make sure it was a safe environment for them. So it was a challenge, as Chris said, and interestingly enough, is getting the dry utilities to the site was probably the biggest challenge that we had, but we got it done.
Next question, Greg. So you may have touched on this a little bit, but as a business leader, do you have an obligation to serve the community, and why did you choose to help Just Compassion in this case when we came to you and brought you the project?
You know, I appreciate that question, Chris, and you know, it's very direct and pointed. I do believe that I have a responsibility to give to the community. To me, I want to be a good steward with what's been given to me. And that includes my time, my treasure, and my talent. The Just Compassion Project provided us an opportunity to pour into the community again. And at Olson & Jones, we have 3 core principal values that we live and work by. That is honesty, caring, and community. And this project allowed us to once again live up to those principles that we espouse. So we consider it an honor to be able to have been asked and then be able to serve in this regard.
So Jim, what was your proudest moment, your biggest win, accomplishment during your time as builder captain on this project?
You know, I'm so pleased with the people, my trade partners. I did not have one individual turn us down, and I had many of our trade partners volunteer 100% of their services, starting with the architect all the way through the finished folks. So my proudest accomplishment as it relates to this is the people that I work with day to day. I was shocked. I had 2 different people that I worked with that said, yes, I was a victim and I will give you whatever you need. So it caused me also to have a little stronger sense of how huge a problem this is, particularly in Portland. It's a much, much bigger problem than I understood it to be. So really proud of the people I work with.
Great. Greg, same question. What was your proudest moment, biggest win during your time as builder captain on this project?
So, you know, I reflected on this, and really the proudest moment that I think I had was we had over just this last summer, we had one of our carpenters retire, and he had worked here for 15 or more years. And his last day was supposed to be on a particular Wednesday. And Rick was down there setting up the forms. We had to pour a ADA ramp at the back of the building. And he helped set up the forms, and I talked to him about how it was going to be laid out and everything, and he was doing a great job at it. And the pour was scheduled for the next day, Thursday. And Rick had the greatest experience with pouring and finishing. And he extended his work career one more day to help us pour that ramp and get it done. You know, that was a very proud moment from my perspective, but other things, the things that you get are tremendous. The people that you get to meet. You know, I got to tell everybody that meeting and working with Chris was a delight. And I consider Chris a friend now, and I feel my life is enriched, as well as there's a fireman named Rob that works at Just Compassion, and he devotes a tremendous amount of time to that shelter, doing physical work, and had been doing for a long time. And he also volunteers his time as he serves on their board. So getting the opportunity to meet these incredible people is invaluable, and talking about a life enriching experience, I don't know anything that could be better.
Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate your work on it. And I know Rob works as hard as he can on that too. So what, Greg, while we're still talking to you, what was your biggest challenge for that project?
For me, the biggest challenge was, so my role today in our company is I play a role like a general manager role, and stepping into builder captain required me to, again, think like a project manager. And so the difficulty for me was flipping the switch to thinking and doing the tasks of being a project manager, and then still fulfilling and keeping my head into the general manager role that I need to accomplish here, as people are depending on me and asking me questions. We have to be thoughtful. So that switch back and forth in my mind, and the lists that I had to kind of keep track of, this one and that one, that for me was the biggest challenge.
So Jim, for you, we're talking about the utilities and you know, that being a huge challenge. Can you also explain, you know, how did this project differ from your normal course of work? What are the major differences when you tackle that type of project?
Well, when I first talked to Zan and to Cassie, I was under the impression that we were going to be getting a developed lot someplace, which is something that I've always done. And, you know, we can muscle our way through rehabbing an existing structure. But building on acreage was new to me. Everything from tent power to you name it. I've never built on acreage, and I know nothing. I've never put a septic tank in. I've never put a well in. So there was a learning curve on my part, which again, we got through it. But that's different. The biggest difference for me as to what I normally do. So I got a little bit out of the deal too. You know.
So Jim, what's your advice to our prospective builder captains that we're trying to recruit?
Well, I think the biggest issues that I had to do with things that I couldn't control. So I don't know that a future builder captain could, but I think it's important that you use your own trades folks as to the extent that you can. I'll echo Greg's comments, Chris. I can't tell you the number of times that I was up at that site after hours or on a weekend, and Chris was on the other end of a shovel or swinging a hammer doing something. Mm-hmm. So I guess the advice I would have for another builder captain would be just to use as many of your own people as you can.
So Greg, how about you? What's your advice to our prospective builder captains that we're recruiting?
So I would first make the comment that make sure that you have the commitment of time, that you're able to give the time that the projects deserve, and that you can, you know, pour into it with everything, because these projects need that kind of commitment. The other is in working with your not-for-profit or the organization there, at least what I needed to do was to set proper expectations, making sure I was committed and being straightforward with them and getting their expectations set at the right place. That's probably what I'd offer.
Okay. Thanks, guys. And we appreciate giving insight into our process and how you guys have done things. I think both of y'all are probably the best examples that we could have for builder captains. And it's clear in the work that we did and what we can see, what people saw today, what you guys did. So we appreciate you. And
Chris, I got a question.
Yeah.
So Jim, would you do one of these again?
Oh, absolutely.
And I would too.
Good. We got you on our list. Well, we appreciate y'all's service, and everybody look out for those 2 articles that we have on Greg and Jim to kind of further explore their lives and how they've lived their life in this service.
Thanks, Chris. And thanks so much, Greg and Jim. I'm going to go a little off script here too and just echo what you guys say, that Chris is on every job site, and he's on every job site almost daily, and he's out there working with our builder captains and with our project participants. And that's really important because we have 3 people on our staff for the Home Builders Foundation, and you're looking at them right now, Kyle, Chris, and Brenda. That's it. And between those 3, we have done millions of dollars worth of work in projects in building and renovating. And it's because of people like Greg and Jim who do it deeply discounted and work with their trade partners and get everybody on board. But with that, again, to their point, is Chris is out there doing this. And when you donate to the Home Builders Foundation, you're not donating to a big overhead admin fee. You're donating directly to shelter work, donating directly to projects. You are building bed space in Portland that is greatly needed, and you are getting shelters up to standards that are safe for people to be in, and space for families to be in, children, women, men, everyone, our veterans. So you are building and participating with, again, a foundation that does great work within our industry. So today, tomorrow, today in the chat, you can actually donate on there if you would like, and either a one-time donation or long-term donor, you can certainly do that. But like both Greg and Jim said, and Brian echoed as well, get your teams participating if you can. Contact us if your company would like to participate. This is fulfilling in a way that other awards and other things that people do within their companies just isn't. So thank you again to Greg and Jim for your work. And again, if you can participate, become a builder captain, donate materials, or donate, that would be great. So thank you so much to everyone here. And I believe Brenda will close us off.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for your time. And we appreciate you, Jim and Greg, for sharing and giving people a glimpse into what it means to be an HBF builder captain. We appreciate all of you joining us this morning and learning more about Home Builders Foundation. We thank you to all of our panelists, and a shout out to Kyle Ellerby he's our HBF development manager, for helping out on all the technical side of this event and making sure everything ran smoothly. So if you have any questions at all and would like to get involved with a project or an event, please feel free to contact us. And you will be getting a follow-up email that will also have the link for making a donation to the foundation. Thanks again for your time. Have a great day.